Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Helping Humanity Evolve, y'all. My name is Jose. How's everybody doing today, man? Hope everybody's happy and healthy. Hope you guys are meditating and connected to the source, bro. You know, we love you, we miss you. We want you to come home. You know what I'm saying? Quick shout out, man. Shout out to my subscribers. I love you, I mean. Shout out to the source. I love you guys. You hear me? Shout out to my ancestors. Shout out to my archangels, my angel guys, my demon guys, and my spirit guys. I love y'all, bro. Shout out to the universe. Shout out to the Galactic Federation. Shout out to Trippy, everything. I fucking love y'all, bro. So listen, it's Monday. It's October 6th, y'all. October, you know, this is a big month, y'all. It's October 6th, 2025, year of rapture. It's 9:46 a.m. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to play this song. Yesterday, I was going to go live yesterday, right? But I decided to spend the day writing. I spent the day writing, bro. So I wrote like 6 songs. I wrote 6 songs, bro, or four. I wrote four. I wrote six. I wrote 6 songs, and I recorded 5. So I got one that I'm sitting on that I haven't recorded yet because I need to finish writing it. It was like midnight when I started writing this shit, bro. Yo, what's good, my fellow alien brother? Yo, what's up, Mr. Shadow? How you doing, bro? So Saturday I went on a journey. Beautiful, beautiful journey, y'all. Beautiful. Um, it inspired me. It inspired me to really get into my writing, bro. So Sunday, when I woke up, I had all these inspirations to write, bro. And I already knew what beats I wanted to write to. I already knew everything, bro. So I just started doing it, bro. And I released one song that was called Flack. I released Flack yesterday for y'all. I got so many more, bro. I'm doing great, bro. Just chilling, enjoying. That's dope, bro. So real quick, check out this song I made yesterday, bro. This is produced by Trippy, bro. Shout out Trippy, I love you, bro. The beats is dope. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Yahweh's in the building, man. Listen, we got those in the building. We got the universe in the building. We got Trippy, everything in the building, y'all. Let's go. Thank you, Trippy. That song is fire, bro. I got so many more. Listen, every one I made was fire, bro. Even the one I'm writing, bro. Thank you, Mr. Shadow. Thank you, bro. I've been getting these down before new ones. I haven't seen nothing, bro. You ain't post nothing in a while, bro. I ain't seen you in a minute too, bro. You know who hit me up? This dude, I forgot his name. Hold on, let me go look, bro. That's why I came live, bro, because this nigga Avian, bro. That's not his name. His name is something else. Supervillain. Supervillain hit me up this morning, bro. He was like, yo, when is church? He said, when is church, bro? So I was like, oh shit, yo, I haven't gone live in a while. Let me go live. But I've been receiving the messages. I've been receiving all of the messages, bro. So I know what's going on. Like, I know everything, bro. I just haven't gone live, right? I just haven't gone live. I just been keeping the information. You know what I'm saying? So basically, breaking things down. I'm not going to get into great detail about it, but Three Eye Atlas is in our skies. Three Eye Atlas already started pushing energy towards us. They already started, releasing their particular frequencies into Earth's grid, bro. So with that said, we already started receiving upgrades from Three Eye Atlas, bro. Now your government, from what I understand, NASA shut down their live footage, their live feed. So we can't monitor anything. We can't see anything. They took that away from us because they don't want us to know what Three Eye Atlas is. Three Eye Atlas is not a comet, bro. It's not an asteroid. It's actually a living, breathing being, bro. It came here to help us. It's part of the Galactic Federation, bro. Right? But your government won't release that information to you. Your government will never tell you that because they don't want you to know what you are. So with that said, they're trying to prolong this evolution, right? They're trying to stop. The one thing that is kind of upsetting, but I'm kind of getting over it. It's the fact that they're trying to keep me hidden. You know what I'm saying? Now, my understanding of social media was that social media was made or created so that we can connect with each other. You understand? They created social media so that we can connect with each other, so that we can give updates on our lives, our friends keep up with us. They created social media so that we can meet new people. And yet, with social media, I'm not able to connect with anyone. So, explain the system to me, bro. Because the way it seems, which my understanding of what it is, it's surveillance, bro. Social media, it's surveillance. They want to know what you're doing. They want to know who you're with, where you're at all times. And with that said, they create a network, or they created an algorithm, I should say, right, of robots that interact with you. They're not real people. They're programs. They're computer programs. This is why, a lot of times when you're chatting with somebody and you ask them for their phone number, or you ask them to take the chat outside of the chat room, they can't, or they won't. You understand? They'll take it over to WhatsApp, but that's as far as they'll go. They won't video chat with you. You understand? They won't meet you because they're not real people. But you don't know this, bro. You don't know this. You think these are real fucking people, man. You guys have no idea what's going on here, bro. And they're not. So with that said, let's get into the music industry, right? What these artists are doing is they're releasing their vocals to AI. They're releasing their voices to AI so that AI can recreate new songs, new music with their voices, bro. And these artists, they might have got paid for it already, or they might be getting paid for it. I don't know, what the deal is behind the scenes. But what I do know is I hear a lot of fake music coming out now, bro. And I know for a fact that these artists didn't go in the studio and record these songs. So you could say they sold their talents, they sold their gifts, because now they don't have to create anymore. You understand? They're taking away their own their own, how do you say, you're supposed to be the one creating. So if you're not the one creating, then you're taking away your own power. You're taking away your own power and you're giving it away to someone else. And this is what they've done. They did it in exchange for finances, for money, for global freedom, for whatever, right? For financial freedom. But they gave up their their creativity rights in order to achieve this status. You understand? And AI is going to be created for them now. So they have no control over what the AI does, bro. You understand? They have no control over that, bro. So with that said, is that something you really want to do, bro? Is money really that important to you? Do you realize, I watched this movie yesterday with Batista, bro. It was with Batista, bro. Right? And it was like some solar flash happened, right? Listen to me, bro. Some solar flash happened and it fried all of the electronics in the world. So people were without power. People didn't have nothing, bro. Listen to me, they had nothing, bro. And instead of the government stepping in and helping, the government abandoned the people. So with that said, there was no government to regulate anything that was going on. So the warlords started taking over. You understand? They took over countries, they took over populations, they took over cities, they took over everything, bro. The government was of no help. Money was valueless. Listen, money had no value. There was no way to buy anything anymore with money, bro. Do you understand what I'm telling you, bro? And these people are selling their souls for this paper, bro. For this paper, bro. And it's not worth it, bro. I'd rather sit here and create for free all day, every day. You understand, and sell my soul, man. Fuck y'all, bro. I got a few ships in orbit. Yo, Mr. Shadow, let me tell you. Y'all know I like the Stargates. Everybody knows I love the Stargates, bro. So what I did purposely was Saturday. I normally take my shrooms around 11, 10 or 11 a.m. And I'm back from my journey about 3, 4 o'clock, bro. But I switched it up. I decided to go on my journey around 2. I drank my mushrooms around 2 o'clock, bro. So I came back around 9. It was like 9, bro. It was really pitch dark outside, bro. Right? So I was stargazing while I was on mushrooms. Yo, this shit was trippy, bro. This shit was trippy as shit, bro. Right? But I saw so many stars move, bro. They was moving around up there, bro. Right? It's something I can't explain it, bro. It's like they were showing me that they were there, bro. Because I'm like, yo, look at that one star. It's got a weird color, bro. And then that shit just started moving, bro. Like, what the fuck? That shit is moving, bro. Yo, let's just say I was tripping hard, bro. But I had a blast, man. But watching the stars move around was crazy as fuck, bro. Even last night, bro. Last night I went outside the Stargates, bro, and it was like the same shit, bro. I'm watching stars just move. Like, bro, that's too high to be a plane, bro. It's way too high to be a plane. But it's moving. It's moving, bro. It looks like a star, bro. This shit is crazy. So, let's just say that the presence is there, The alien presence is there, bro. I already saw UFOs, bro. I already saw them. I confirmed they're there. They're there, bro. There's a lot more than that, though, but they're there, bro. So they're, I feel their presence. They're very much here in fucking full force, bro. Full force, bro. You hear me? So this really soothed me, bro. Like it really soothed me, bro. Because holy fuck, it's really happening. It's really real, bro. It's crazy, bro. So it really does explain a lot as to why I'm being hidden from the people, as to why I'm not being allowed to be seen or heard in this world. You understand? Now it's not fair. However, it's not something that I'm obligated to focus on, right? God doesn't want me to focus on that. He wants me to do what I do. You understand? He said, don't worry about nothing. Just do what you do, bro. So with that said, what I'm doing for me. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me, bro. You understand? They already explained to me that what you ask for, what you ask God for, nigga, this what you're getting. You understand? So you better stop acting like a bitch and go with it, bro, because this is what it is. So with that said, I understand the process. I'm really starting to understand this process, bro. And I'm getting more comfortable with it. You understand? Because I'm starting to understand that you have to trust in the invisible. You have to, bro. You don't have a choice. You really don't have a choice, bro. So, with that said, it's building. It's getting stronger, bro. It's getting stronger with every day that passes, bro. Because, I have experiences I can't explain, bro. I really do. And I don't talk about them because people would really think I'm crazy, bro. But at the end of the day, I know what's happening. I know what's going on. So certain shit I just don't, I keep to me because those are my personal experiences. Those are for me only, bro. It's not for you to understand. It's for me to understand. So with that said, as long as I understand it, bro, it's okay. It's okay, bro. I could never tell nobody, but it's okay because I know what happened. And eventually, when you guys get caught up, I'll be able to share that information with you because you'll be more knowledgeable. You'll be more understanding of what's going on, and you will have some kind of or some kind of sense as to what I'm talking about because you already, learned some shit, right? So, some things are for future conversations. Some experiences that I'm having now are for future conversations because people, it's way over your head, right? It's way over your head, bro. So, Have you heard the ships fly over? Have I heard them? No, I can't say I haven't heard them, bro. I see them. I see them. I can't hear them. I see them, bro. And they communicate with me, bro, because they flashed me, bro. Listen, this shit flashed me, bro. This shit, it was like a real light blue color, bro. And then it starts moving, bro. And as it started moving, the shit turned really white, bro, like a flash, bro. And I said, oh shit, look, it's talking to me. And then it just disappeared, bro. It just fucking vanished, bro. Like, where the fuck did it go? It's gone, bro. What the fuck? Right? But it happened. I saw it, bro. I saw it with my own eyes, bro. And all I could do was sit there and say, thank you, bro. Thank you for showing me, bro. Because holy fuck, I thought that was a star. I really thought that was a star, bro. But it just started moving, and then it flashed white, and then it was gone, bro. It was just vanished out of thin air, bro. Right? So who do you tell that to, and who do you explain that to, right? Who's gonna believe that? Who? Right now, right now at this moment, man, not many people, right? So, that's something that happened. Right? I'm happy it happened, right? I know in my heart and soul that was communication from above. You understand? So my goal, when I initially came back from California, was to just regroup. Right? I need to regroup. I need to overcome some fears. I need to make more music because I need to polish my flow. So my intent was to make an album, or make two albums that I could go around and try to sell, or I could try to show people that I'm good at making music. I should be in the studio. So with that said, my goal was to make like one or two albums and go shop them around and see what I could do. So right now I'm currently at like eight. Right, I got like eight albums, eight full-length albums, bro. I didn't know I was recording that much. I really didn't know until I sat down and I started breaking down my music, and I was like, holy fuck, bro! Like I got over 300 songs. Wow, bro. You understand? So all of these songs are original. They're original. They're written by me. They're not produced by me, but they're all written by me, bro. And they're all unique and original. So with that said, all I really need is some beats. And I could sit in the studio for fucking and remake every fucking song I have. You understand? Or write new ones. It doesn't matter because I'm a beast at this shit. So I way surpassed my goal as far as what I wanted to create. I created almost quadruple of what my intent was. My intent was one or two, and I got like eight. So with that said, I have no intention on stopping, bro. Like I keep getting ideas. It's like with every breath I take, I get a new idea, bro. And sometimes I don't put them into, I don't do them because I be busy, bro. I'm already working on this. I can't start working on this, and I'm still working on this, bro. So sometimes they fade away, bro. Sometimes the ideas come and go. If I don't jump on them right then and there, then I gotta, I'll jump on it eventually. Then sometimes they slip away and I forget about them, bro. And that's just how this shit works. Like I be listening to a song and I'll create a whole new flow while I'm listening to the song. And if I don't start writing down that flow, I'm gonna forget that. I'm gonna forget the cadence I had, bro. You understand? And I lose a lot of cadences that way because I be writing so much that I get so many ideas of what I want to say, of how I want to say it, and then it's just crazy. They throw so many more. Don't do it this way. Do it this way. And I'm like, no, I already got the song, composed this way. I want to keep it this way. Let me finish it, and then I'll write the next one like that. And that's how I've been. That's how I've been doing, bro. Any more problems with the fools? Not really, bro. They make attempts, but I blow them off. To be honest with you, bro, I blow them off, bro. So it's not that serious, bro. I have limited time left here, bro. I'm only here but for a few more weeks, bro. So I need to figure my shit out, which I'm in the process of doing. Right. So I'm trying to figure things out now. I'm not worried. I'm not worried as I was before. Before I was really concerned about what I was gonna do and where I was gonna go, and I'm starting to care less about it, bro, because not knowing is better than knowing, I guess. Right. This is what they're teaching me. It's not to worry about things. You're supposed to just walk in faith. Just walk in faith, bro. Right. So this is what I'm learning. It's a learning process. I'm not fully there, but it's a learning process. I have a couple of weeks to get it together. So I'm really trying. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of strength, bro. It really takes a lot of strength to be that way, bro. It's not easy. But for the most part, they're respecting my wishes. To just leave me be, bro. You understand? And I appreciate them for that, bro. So I've been focusing on other things, right? I've been focusing mainly on my writing and getting my music together. And when I decided to sit down yesterday and just count and just count and group together songs like, all right, this is this album, this is this album, this is this album. And by the time I was done, I had like 8. I was like, holy fuck, bro. Wow. You know, I'm talking like, you know, almost 25 tracks, bro, on every album, bro. You know, I got skits, I got everything, bro. You name it, I got it, bro. You know, I thought of it all, bro. I got preachers, right? I got, you know, when I'm talking over the beat, just talking, just speaking the word of God for you, trying to teach you some shit. So I did piece together a lot of this. You know, I created some dope albums. I got some dope albums, bro. Right, my beat choices, my beat selections are amazing, bro. And I got some really good hooks, right? I don't really know who the people are, but I know who they were produced by. So, you know, if it ever gets to that point, I can always reach out. We can make some shit happen. You understand? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I could feel things I'm getting closer and closer to where I want to go and where I want to be in life. And you know, as I get closer, things get realer, right? As I get closer, things get realer. So with that said, so many things happened over the last couple of weeks that really made me sit down and do some soul searching as far as, you know. It's just me. It's just me. It's just me, bro. I'm totally alone. You understand? So a lot of you people, y'all don't know what that feels like because you got family. You got people that care about you. You got people that love you. I don't have that. You understand? I got people that are jealous of me. I got people that are mad at me because of who I am. I got people that are mad at me because of how I am. You understand? But I set my boundaries, and I'm a man of respect. And if you can't respect that, then fuck you. You understand? I've always been that way, and I'll always be that way. So people dislike me for that. People dislike me for a lot of reasons. You understand? And you know, that's not my problem. It's not my problem. You understand? But this is what it is, including my family, bro. So I'm at a point in life where I'm totally alone. Totally alone, bro. I have no one to turn to for help. I have no one to turn to for anything. I have to figure this out on my own. So with that said, this is me and them. You know, I got them. I got these guys, right? Y'all see my UFO. I got my family. I got God. You know, so with that, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna take off running, bro, because, you know, at the end of the day, God is all I need. It's all I need, bro. I need nothing else. I need nothing more. And I'll prove it. I'll prove it. Just give me a little time. I'm gonna prove it to everyone. I promise you. That's a promise, bro. You understand? You can't stop greatness, bro. You could never stop greatness, bro. No, nobody can. I don't care how mad you are. I don't care how jealous you are, nigga. That's your problem, right? That's your problem, not mine. You understand? I ain't come here to be no fucking slave. I ain't come here to go to work 40 hours a week for somebody else and make a little bit of money. Are you out of your fucking mind? You think I came here for that? You really think I came here for that, bro? You think I came here to pay bills? Huh? You think I came here to work for a piece of paper and ask permission to do things on my and ask permission, can I have this day off? Can I have this time off? You know, you think I came here for that, bro? Did you come here for that? Did anybody come here for that, bro? Right? But that's what you're doing. That's what we all doing. All right, something's got to give here, bro. Because y'all, they're about to implement a chip inside of y'all motherfuckers, bro. And y'all just gonna let them. Y'all just, here, shoot it at me, bro. Because they want to monitor your every move, nigga. They want to monitor everything you do, bro. They want to be able to tell you when you go to the store, you can't buy that. That's not on the list of things you can purchase. So you can't buy that. You understand? So what you gonna do when they have that kind of control over you, bro? What you gonna do, bro? You did it to yourself because you don't listen. None of you do. They're gonna regret being punks. Everybody is, bro. Everybody's gonna regret what they did, bro. Everybody is, bro. Because at the end of the day, you people are fucking stupid, bro. You understand? How you gonna? Let me ask you a question, bro. If you know for a fact this the rise of the Christ, you know this for a fact, bro. You're gonna try to stop it, bro? Really, bro? This is what you're doing. This is what you're doing, bro. And then you want me to have leniency? You want my father to have leniency? This is how it's working? Is this how you think it's gonna happen, bro? Because this is what they think, bro. You know, they think they can do whatever the fuck they want. You know, they're not supposed to do this to me, bro. They're not supposed to do this. They're not supposed to do this at all, but they are. And y'all breaking spiritual laws. Y'all breaking every law in the universe, and y'all know that, bro. Y'all know that. So with that said, when shit hits the fan, where you gonna go, bro? Listen to me, where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? I know where every portal is. I am part of God, bro. I know where everything is. You can't hide anywhere, bro. There's nowhere to hide, bro. You understand? There's nowhere to hide, bro. So with that said, we're supposed to be celebrating, which is what I'm doing. I'm celebrating my return, bro. Now I'm celebrating it alone, right? But I'm still celebrating. You know, it's not going to change anything. What you're doing is not going to change anything. Do you not know that God stands one against all, bro? And I'm the one. I'm the one. It's me. I'm ready to slay everybody, bro. Is that what I got to do? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? This is what they want, bro. And it's not the people. It's not the people. It's just a select few. It's a select few, bro. So anyway, I was talking about the movie with Batista, how the government abandoned the people. Right? And you know, all the warlords and big cartel leaders took over the world, bro. They took over the cities, they took over the country, they took over everything, bro. And the people were fucked. There was nobody to help them. There was nobody to, you know, there was nobody to regulate. There was nobody to do nothing. You know why? Because you're being lied to. You're being played, bro. And when shit hits the fan, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get abandoned, bro. And, you know, United States is going to be the first country that's going to be a fucking war zone because the people within it are going to fucking implode, bro. You understand? The people within it are going to implode, bro. They separated us by skin color, by race, by religion. They separated us. You name it, we separated by it, bro. And these people are gonna find a reason to fight each other. Right? They're gonna find a reason to fight each other, bro. And you know, with no law to regulate what's gonna happen, it's gonna be total chaos, bro. So with that said, you know, it's not happening. It's not happening that way. That's like doomsday scenario, right? That's like a doomsday scenario. And what's really happening with the solar flashes is not going to disable any electronics. Now, we may get a couple of days of darkness. You know, that's very possible. And from my understanding, that already passed, bro. That flash already passed, bro. So if we get another one, it's not going to be like the last one. But the last one we had, I think it was like 6 days. You understand? But your government hid it from you. They hid it from you with the artificial sun. But you don't know that. You think that, you know, we had sun every day. And in reality, no, nigga, they found a way to replicate the sun. And them 3 days or 6 days or whatever the fuck it was that we went into total darkness, they didn't allow us to know. So we didn't know, bro. Nobody did. Nobody still does. Nobody knows because of, you know, they hid it so well. They hid it so well from me, bro. But I know because I received information from the galaxy, bro. So I know that we received those upgrades already. They couldn't stop us from receiving them, bro. So information received, upgrades received, everything was received. Now, it's a process. Everything is a process, bro. Now, only you could delay the process. And in my case, I am delaying my own process because of my bad habits. I have bad habits, bro. And I'm learning to break them because my body's really starting to get mad at me. My body's really starting to, like, it hurts whenever I do something I'm not supposed to do. It literally hurts me, bro. So I'm starting to not like that pain, bro. I don't like that pain, and you know, I'd rather just not do it if that's how I was gonna feel whenever I inhale, right? So fuck that. So they're teaching me to quit, and it's getting stronger every fucking day because every time I take a pull of this vape, it hurts, bro. And it doesn't hurt like a pain where I want to go to the doctor because I know it's not that kind of pain. It's a kind of pain that makes you think, bro. It really makes you think, bro. So, you know, it goes away and it never comes back until you do the bad habit again. But this is their way of telling me I need to stop. So as shit gets realer, you know, it's getting realer in here as well, because I'm being forced to stop things. I quit coffee. Listen to me. I quit coffee. I haven't drank coffee in about 3 weeks. Or it's been about a month. No, it's about 3 weeks. I haven't drank coffee in 3 weeks. Now, normally I wake up and that's the first thing I need. I wake up, I want a coffee and I want a cigarette, bro. And 3 weeks, bro, no coffee. Listen to me. I wake up, no urge, no nothing, bro. I don't even smoke. I smoke a cigarette now and then because I have bad habits. But I don't smoke as often as I used to. And the more I smoke, the worse it's tasting to me, bro. So, that's a habit that's real easy for me to kick because it's the vaping. It's the vaping that's hurting me more. Because the vaping is what hurts. It's not the cigarettes, it's the vaping. But the cigarettes just taste disgusting now, bro. So with that said, slowly but surely I'm breaking my habits, bro. I got control of my libido. Right, watch out, bro. Watch out, bro. That's my root chakra, bro. Like I got total control of my root chakra. Finally, bro. Thank you, bro. I've been begging for that, bro. I got total control of my root chakra, bro. It's over, bro. Because all that liquid is just fucking building and building and building and building, bro. When I go into meditation, that shit goes up my spine, bro. That's gonna activate me, bro. That's my kundalini, bro. Right? So, I got total control over that. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm on my second month, bro. Total control, bro. 2 months celibate, bro. I'm doing great, bro. Is the breakfast the next to go? Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have to. All right. I'm allowed to do what I love, right? Listen to me. We're allowed to do what we love. This is why I can smoke cigarettes. This is why I can smoke weed. And I'm still blessed. I'm still chosen. I'm still me. I'm still Christ. You understand? Because it's not about, you have to enjoy yourself in life, bro. But you have to be able to put them down when you need to put them down. And that's what I'm learning. It's not quitting. It's not letting go of something you love. But if you want to gain, you have to sacrifice. So, this is part of your old life. This is something that you did every day for fucking, I don't know how many years. You have to let this go now, bro. You understand? You want to gain this, you need to let this go. So this is what they're teaching me, is that I have these gifts, I have these abilities, but they're not going to be released until these are released. So, it's a trade-off, it's a sacrifice. You understand? And I haven't been able to give them up. I haven't been able to say, fuck, bro. I really want this gift. I really want the gift. But at the same time, I'm addicted to this. Yo, what's up, bro? How you doing, bro? Peace, man. So, this is how spirituality works. This is how the Holy Ghost works, bro. We'll bless you with everything you want, bro. But you have to release the bullshit, bro. You understand? Now they're showing me what I'm capable of. They show me every day what I'm capable of. Look, man, you could do this, you could do that, you could do this, you could do so much more. But you're still vaping, bro. You're still smoking cigarettes, you're still smoking weed, and do it, but do it responsibly, bro. So with that said, I'm learning to put them, like, I got a little bit of vape in here, right? I got a little bit, bro. I'm stretching this bitch, bro. But once this is finished, bro, I'm gonna do my best to let it go, bro. And the cigarettes together. I'm gonna group it, right? I'm gonna let go of both at the same time, bro. And that's gonna be a fight. That's gonna be a fight, but I'm gonna do it. And I believe in my heart that once I do that, that's gonna eliminate my own roadblock, bro. That's gonna eliminate my own roadblock, bro. And that's gonna free me from a lot of the bullshit that I'm that's encircling me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm allowing it to be there by not listening, by not going, okay, I'm done with this. Okay, I'm done with this. And making the trades I'm supposed to make. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, God is very understanding. He's very forgiving. He doesn't rush you. He doesn't rush you, bro. He doesn't go, yo, bro, what the fuck? Even though I do get spoken, I get spoken to. You guys don't think that God doesn't talk to me. God scolds me, bro. I get scolded, bro. I get scolded like a child, bro. You understand? And I understand. I do understand what he means. I understand why. And I do understand that I'm doing it to myself, bro. You understand? So he's teaching me. He's teaching me in a loving way. But sometimes he's aggressive. Right? And I am aggressive, so I can't get mad at him because, I'm that way. I'm that way too. So with that said, if anybody could talk to me reckless, it's you, bro. Right? It's you, bro. You're the only one out loud to talk to me that way, bro. You understand? But I learn. I listen and I learn, bro. And with that said, I just gotta apply myself, bro. Been trying to stop smoking too. Universe funny. Universe be having me dying in here, bro. I'll be in here, listen to me. I'll be in here in tears, bro. I'll be crying, bro, because the shit they be telling me, bro. Right? Or the shit they just throw in my head, bro. They be throwing some shit in there, bro. Right? They reckless. I mean, they ruthless, bro. They ruthless as fuck, bro. Like yesterday, it wasn't yesterday. Today's Monday, right? So Saturday. Saturday I was crying, bro. Right? I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was crying, bro. And I was crying. And this nigga's like, why you crying like a bitch for, bro? What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, he just like started going ham, bro. So I had to stop crying, bro. Cause I'm like, God damn, bro, I can't even cry in peace, bro. This nigga's in my ear, bro. Telling me why the fuck you crying, bro. What's wrong? Right? So, I'm trying to explain to him, I'm trying to release pain, bro. Right? But he's like, what the fuck, man? So, I had to, I would just be going through it, bro. Smoking is difficult, bro. I promised myself I would stop smoking at 45, and I'm 47, bro. So I'm 2 years overdue. I was supposed to stop smoking 2 years ago. So I delayed myself 2 years because I refused to stop. I'm very stubborn. I refuse to stop, bro. But as I'm learning, I'm beginning to understand how the trade-offs work and how the sacrifices work, bro. So I'm willing to sacrifice this. If I if this is the difference between me flying and not flying, then I'm gonna get rid of this, bro, because I want to fly, bro. You understand? I want to fly, bro. So this is not worth not flying. This is not worth it, bro. I'd rather let this go and be able to activate my DNA so I can fly, bro. Because I've been really practicing that shit. I've been trying to float, bro. I've been trying every day. I try to levitate, bro. I know how to recreate the feeling, bro. That's what it is. I know how to recreate the feeling, bro. They gave me the feeling once, bro, and I never forgot it, bro. So with that shit, I could sit there and focus on that feeling, bro. And it makes me feel like I'm sitting on nothing, like I'm just floating in midair, bro. That's how it makes me feel. So with that said, I've been trying to levitate myself with that feeling, bro. But I really think this is holding me back, bro. Choose ascension. Yes, sir. Always choose ascension, bro. Always, bro. This is my whole purpose here, bro. It's for ascension, bro. I'm here to teach you. I'm here to teach you how to do it. And I'm here to learn how to do it in the process. I'm learning how to do it. So they're helping me overcome my stubbornness, bro. I'm a Taurus, bro. It's difficult for me, bro. I'm very stubborn, bro. Like once I'm fucking focused, it's over, bro. You understand? So me being me, I got bad habits. Me being me, I still wake up and roll a blunt. I don't drink coffee no more. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I will wake up and roll me a blunt, bro. Smoke me a blunt. You know what I'm saying? And hit my vape. And it's time to let this go, though. I was already given instructions to release. It's time to release, bro, because this is October and 3 Alice is here, bro. He's here to help. So I need to be able to integrate these frequencies, bro. Which I already started, bro. The things they're showing me are fucking beautiful, bro. You understand? And I know it's coming from them, bro, because I've never seen this shit before, bro. I'm like, wow, this is new, bro. This is a new area. This is a new place, bro. This is a new boy. Wow, well, these people are amazing, bro. So, I'm ready. I'm so ready, bro. I'm ready to release whatever it is I gotta release, bro. I'm ready to get into meditation more. I don't meditate long anymore. I used to meditate. I used to sit down for like an hour or two. And sometimes I do when I'm on mushrooms. When I'm on mushrooms, I meditate, bro. I always have moments of silence, bro. I always do it late in my journeys when I'm able to focus. So I wait till the madness happens. I wait till everything happens where I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then, I do my performances. And after my performances, when my body tells me, yo, bro, it's time to sit the fuck down, bro. You've been dancing for I don't know how long. Right? I sit down, I turn everything off except for the video. I leave the video on, but I mute it. And I always sit here in silence, bro. And I just, I go into self mode, bro. And I always go places. Bro. And I do that for like an hour or two every time I take my journeys. During the week, I meditate for minutes at a time. During the week, I learn how to meditate while on the go. I learn how to meditate and connect, for minutes, right? I could do it intentionally for like 2 or 3 minutes. And those 2 or 3 minutes matter, bro, because I'm connected to my father, bro. I'm letting him know that I know he's there. I'm with him. I love him. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for being with me. I'm talking to him, bro, as if he's with me, bro. You understand? And I do this throughout the day. I do this throughout the day, bro. This is not something that I do once or twice. I do this shit a couple of times an hour, bro. You understand? Because it's like walking with your friend. It's like when you go into the store, you say, hey, you want to come into the store? And you go to the store with your friend and you're having conversations. You understand? This is how we operate. I'm having conversations with my father, or I'm having conversations with the aliens. I'm always with someone, bro. You understand? You may not see them. You may not hear them, but I do. And they're very much here with me, bro. So with that said, I treat it as such. I treat it as such, bro. I know that my father's with me all day, every day. So I'm free to talk to him whenever I please, bro. If I have a question, I can say it. If I have a joke, I can say it. Anything I want, bro, I can say it. And he's gonna receive it, and he's gonna let me know he received it. You understand? Because we communicate, bro. Love shrooms. Are you kidding me, bro? I love mushrooms, bro. Mushrooms changed my life, bro. Mushrooms changed my life completely. Mushrooms made me a completely different person, bro. I'm a completely different man than I used to be, bro. And it's all because of mushrooms, bro. And I became a much better person, bro. I grew a lot, internally, bro. I grew a lot internally, and it showed me a lot externally because of that. You know what I'm saying? And, it's a fucked up world we live in. It really is a fucked up world we live in, bro. But you're not stronger than me. Nobody's stronger than me, bro. So with that said, bro, I'm gonna succeed in what I came to do, bro. You understand? And there's nothing you can do but sit back and watch like a bitch you are, bro. You understand? I'm sorry, bro. See, he's like, why the fuck you say that, bro? He's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, see, I be getting scolded, bro. My fault, bro. Yahweh, that's me. Yo, you're a super villain. What's good, bro? I'm here for you, bro. I came here because of you, bro. I got your message. Message received, buddy. As soon as you told me that shit, I brought the chair, bro. I got rid of the couch. I brought the chair. I said, I'm gonna go live. Let me go to the store and get me some wraps, right? And that's what I did. I went to the store. I got some wraps. I came back. I dropped the video. I don't know if you saw the video, but I dropped the Kill Shit video, the Chris Calico video, bro. That shit is fire, bro. So I dropped that video and then I came live, bro. And I'm gonna bring you a message too, bro. I've been tracking your live. I'm caught up. Oh, nice, bro. So you watched all my lives, bro? That's a lot of lives, bro. Wow, that means you well equipped now, bro. If you've been watching, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm so happy to see you, bro. I'm happy to be here, bro. Thank you, bro. I've been having fun. Listen to me. I've been having so much fun, bro. They try to throw boulders in my path. They try to throw emotions at me. They try to fuck with my mind a lot, bro. But I'm strong. It's like I'm telling you, bro. I'm stronger than all of you, bro. Mentally, bro, there's nothing you could do to me, bro. So with that said, I know I can look at your eyes and just know you're full of shit, bro. Right? And just be like, all right, whatever, bro. You know what I'm saying? Keep it pushing, bro. So, I got this video, they got a dubstep remix of "Don't Worry, Be Happy." Don't worry, be happy. Yo, bro, listen to me. They got a dubstep remix, and don't ask me how I found it, but I found it, right? And I completely forgot I found it. And when I took my mushroom journey, the song came on, bro, and I did a performance to it, bro. I'm gonna release it for y'all, bro. And it just felt good to hear, bro, because I'm going through a lot, bro. So, to hear that shit, and it's just like, yo, bro, you're so right. If you listen to the words, you're so right, bro. So, I'm just happy. Bro. I'm happy because I know what's coming. I'm happy because God is here. I'm happy because the aliens are real. I'm happy because I'm alive, bro. And, no matter what's going on externally, right? No matter what's going on, it doesn't change a fucking thing, bro. So with that said, I'm going to just go. Roll with the invisible, bro. Don't worry about shit, bro. This world is ours. Right? So, that's it, bro. I'm learning this, bro. how was the journey? It was beautiful. It was fucking beautiful. Listen to me. Three Eye Atlas is here, bro. If you haven't heard about Three Eye Atlas, I'm gonna bring you a message today. To update you about Three Eye Atlas, if that's today's message. Uh, but I can tell you they're here full force, bro. Listen to me. I can confirm they are here in full force, bro. I received messages telepathically. I received portals on my journey that I went through that were fucking amazing, bro. You understand? So I can confirm that here the energies are being received. We have received the frequencies. I have received new portals, bro. It's fucking, oh my god, bro. Right? I can't describe them to you because it's like I said, certain things are not meant for your ears yet, bro. Certain things I can't explain. Certain things I cannot explain, bro. Did they show me any new abilities? No, not this time, bro. When that part of the journey came, I blacked the fuck out. Listen to me, I blacked out, bro. Like I did 7 grams, right? Now when this shit hit me, I don't know why, bro. It hit me maybe because I fasted for like 2 days before I went on my journey, bro. So understand, I didn't eat, bro. I was only on liquid. I was drinking water. So when those mushrooms hit, they hit fucking hard, bro. So when I hit my peak, bro, I remember closing my eyes, bro. I remember closing my eyes. And I don't know for how long, but when I opened them, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? And then I got up and I just went outside and got some sun. Right? And then I came back in and just started dancing, bro. I didn't know what was going on, bro. Right? I was just like, I don't know how long I was out for, bro. But it was beautiful. I had great feelings. I got great feelings from the sun when I was in the sun, and then when I went out at night to hang out with the stars, we had a great time, bro. To see the stars move, it's like I was telling you, bro. To see stars move around is trippy as fuck, bro. Can I prove it? Nah, I can't prove shit to you, bro. I could just tell you it happened. I saw it, right? I saw UFOs. I saw it all, bro. Like this shit is crazy. So they're here, and because of that, I'm so joyful, bro. I'm so joyful, bro, because it's really beautiful to experience, bro. And one day you're gonna get to see it, bro. Everyone will, bro. Everyone's gonna see it, bro, and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing, bro. So let me see how long I've been yapping for. I've been yapping for 47 minutes. Holy fuck, bro. Holy fuck, bro. All right, this is gonna be a long live, guys. I hope you're ready, bro. I'm not leaving. Oh, you guys are so lucky, bro. Your standard All right, so how do the aliens communicate? Telepathically, bro. Telepathically, bro. Listen to me. You have these senses. You have senses, right? We all have senses. You have emotions. You have telepathy. You have all these things that you don't know how to use. You don't know how to use them. Fear, right? When your body feels fear, that's your warning system, bro. It's called the warning system. Something's activating your warning system and telling you that you need to focus on whatever it is that's making you feel that way. You don't understand. That's your warning system, but you never knew that. You think fear is something else. You understand? I'm still here. Okay, Mr. Shadow. So with that said, you have feelings, you have emotions, you have senses. The aliens use those to communicate with us. They give you feelings, they give you emotions, they give you thoughts, bro. And sometimes they whisper. You understand? It's just a matter of using your senses and knowing that they're there and being open to receive. Because if you're not open to receive, bro, you're never going to get the messages. You understand? It takes a lot, bro. You got to become one with your breath. That's not easy to do. But if you can do it, you can start to receive information, bro. You can start to hear the whispers. You can start to receive telepathy messages. You start to get feelings and emotions that tell you this shit is true. You understand? What you just heard is real. You understand? That's on you. You have to use your own discernment, bro. You understand? Because once people know that you know how to do that, they start to project shit to you, bro. And you start to receive all these ideas, messages, thoughts that are not yours. You understand? And you got to be able to go, what the fuck? Get this shit out of here, bro. This is not mine. This is not mine. But all of this takes practice because you know how many loops I don't ran through because I wasn't paying attention. Because I thought it was, it was mine and it wasn't. So it takes practice. It takes, it takes learning. It takes a lot. But this is how they communicate with us, bro. You understand? Through telepathy, through your emotions, through your senses. You understand? Your belief has a lot to do with it. You have to believe. You have to believe, bro. That takes a lot, bro. You have to believe that they're there. You understand? Believe that what you heard was real. Believe that thought that you received came from them. Believe it. You understand? Because at the end of the day, if you don't believe it, then it's not real. Your belief is everything, bro. Your belief is everything. How you think your doctor can tell you, you have this condition that nobody's heard of. And he gives you a name that nobody's heard of. And you go home and you believe it, bro. You go, oh my God, I got this condition and it's called this. And guess what you're doing? You're creating that condition, bro, because you're the creator. So you created the condition yourself. They made you believe it. They made you believe it, bro. And you went home and you created it. You went home and created it. Fuck, I got this. Fuck, I got. You said it so much and you thought about it so much that guess what? You manifested it, bro. You manifested it, bro. But they never taught you that. Nobody never taught you. That's why you can't believe shit you hear, bro. You understand? Because at the end of the day, nigga, I'm healthy, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with me. And my belief says it all. I'm growing younger by the day. Can you look at me? Do I look my age? Because I truly believe in my words, bro. I saw you live from about 7 months ago. You were in the car and seemed to have been there a lot. Well, 7 months ago, I was in the Bronx. Well, no, 7 months ago, I was here. I've been here since January. So if you're talking about the beginning of 2024, I was in my mom's house. I was going through a lot that year. That year, I lost everything. I lost my car. I lost my apartment. I lost all my belongings, bro. I went on the wild goose chase all the way down to Florida. I drove all the way back. I was going through a lot, bro. And I learned a lot about my family in that time. That's why you saw me in my car. I was always in my car because I wasn't welcome where I was. You understand? I had to sit outside to be comfortable. I wasn't comfortable up there. So, and they made sure I was uncomfortable, bro. And it taught me a lot about my family. You understand? So those lives, I was outside a lot, bro. I was always in the car. I was trying to keep warm. It was winter time. My mother don't love me, bro. You understand? And she really showed me. I tried to make amends with her while I was there, but she wasn't hearing none of that shit. You understand? So with that said, I walked away. Like, what else can you do, bro? I walked away. I had to find a way, and I did. I found my way out, bro. I ended up going back to Jersey until I was told I had to get out my apartment because I knew I had a couple of months left there, bro. And I ended up doing that. I went back to Jersey for a couple of months. I was in my apartment until I completely lost it. I couldn't go back. So I went to my mom. I went to my baby mother's house. And I stood there for a couple of months, and until she got on her bullshit too, and I ended up leaving there and coming to Colorado, bro. And here we are again, where I'm going through some bullshit with the people here, and I gotta go. It's time to go. It's time for me to find somewhere else to go, bro. So they made my life very difficult over the last couple of years simply because of what I'm doing. Because I'm flagged in the system, bro. It's very difficult for me to find somewhere to work, bro. Once people run my social, they go, oh no, right? You know who that is? We can't let her make no money, bro. And they really do their best to keep me down, bro. You understand? And that's your system. That's not counting the witches and warlocks I'm around that's always trying to steal some shit. They always want to steal energy. They want to swap destiny. There's a lot of bullshit, bro. People come across me on Instagram. People come across me on YouTube. And they go, oh, he chosen. Let me see. Right? Let me see. And they try their bullshit. And once they see they can't do nothing, oh my God, it's really real. Who's that? Right? Who's that? Now it's who's that? Right? You already did what you did when we saw you. You understand? But this is people for you. This is the world you live in. People don't want to work. They want to steal. They don't want to sit down and connect to God. They want to steal from God's son, And that's bullshit to me, bro. I also saw a short where these men were threatening you. What's up with that? That was this dude, bro. Listen, this nigga disrespected me, bro. He disrespected me. So I got in his face, bro. I got in his face and I was like, what's up, bro? You understand? You think I give a fuck where I'm at, bro? I'll fuck you up, bro. Watch your mouth when you talk to me, bro. So I told him, go call your fucking friends, pussy. And he did. Right? And he did. And they came, bro. And I said, what the fuck y'all gonna do to me? I dare one of y'all niggas to touch me, bro. And I started recording, bro. You understand? Because I'm gonna protect myself at the end of the day. And nobody did nothing to me, bro. You understand? I came right back in the house and I came back to my room, bro. And that's that. We had to squash it, bro. Because what the fuck y'all trying to do? They was trying to throw me out. They was trying to tell me to get out, bro. I ain't going nowhere, nigga. I paid my rent, bro. Fuck out of here, bro. I pray one of y'all niggas touch me, bro. Y'all gonna see Neo come out, bro. Y'all ever saw the Matrix, bro? Y'all better watch yourself, bro. This one dude walked right up next to me, bro. I said, yo, boy, you better be careful, bro. He was a big motherfucker, too, bro. I told him, you better be careful, bro. You don't know me, bro. Y'all don't know me, bro. So that, I put the little clip up because they wanted some shine. And they've been dying for me to post what they've been doing to me here, bro. So I posted so y'all can see what I'm going through, bro. But I got a couple of weeks left, and I'm gonna figure my shit out and get the fuck away from these people, bro. They're not good people. The fact that they would even consider doing something like that to me, bro. I got every right to go fuck them up. You understand? Because why you bring, I apologized to him before he brought those people to me. I said, yo, my fault. I should have did that, bro. And he still called his friends, So I got every right to catch him alone. If we was in the Bronx, nigga, it would have been over for you, bro. But he's not a street kid. He's not from the streets, bro. He's half my age. He's a kid, bro. I'm not worried. I got bigger things to worry about than that, bro. I'm fine. Listen to me. I'm fine, bro. You think I'm worried about people, bro? I got God, bro. I'm not worried about people, bro. They need to find God, bro, because they're being bullies. I don't like bullies, bro. You understand? They're being bullies. Everybody knows they're being bullies, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. They know I got a channel, and they know I talk about my life. So they should watch what the fuck they do to me, bro. And that's just what it is. You understand? I tell them to their fucking face, bro. You understand? I've been doing this shit for years, nigga. You think I'm gonna change for you? Who are you? Who the fuck are you, bro? You know who I am, nigga? You better repent. You better repent, bro. I already did. I already repented, bro. You understand? My father forgave me, bro. He'll forgive you too. You understand? But you gotta want it. If you don't want it, you ain't gonna get it. So, with that, let's get into the message. This is channeled by Michael S. This message was received October 4th. The question was, are the October 7th supermoon and 3-eye atlas Lyrian energies important for star seeds? Right? And the description is, most have no idea what's about to happen. And this is from Orca, the Vega Collective, y'all. Y'all already know the Vega Collective, bro. Them niggas is beasts, bro. I love Vega, bro. Or I should say Orca. Right? So let's get into this message, bro. This is a lengthy message, bro, but we're going to get into it. So, beloved family of light, I came forth as orcas of the Lyrian lineage within Vega, greeting you in this sacred moment under the radiance of the October supermoon. A powerful Lyrian Syrian pulse ignites across the cosmic field, now carried on. The wings of the 3-eye atlas transmission that bathes your world. This interstellar emissary appearing as a celestial visitor near your moon emanates crystalline Lyrian light codes of courage, unity, and fearless sovereignty. Those codes stream through the lunar gateway and cascade into Earth's energy grids, touching touching every receptive heart and every ley line of the planet. You may feel them as a warm golden rush in your chest or as a gentle fire kindling in your belly. For these frequencies synchronize the heart chakras with the solar plexus. That explains the burning in my stomach, bro. Wow, I was wondering why the fuck my stomach was on fire, bro. Right? And this union of heart and will, a long dormant lion-hearted essence within you awakens. Courage, divine will, and the harmony of true order begin to ripple through your being. Where once there was doubt or fragmentation, the pulse from Lyria and Sirius, united in purpose, rekindles your inner sovereign flame, restoring a sense of cosmic order in a place of former chaos. It is as though the universe itself took a deep breath, through you, establishing peace and purpose in the very cells of your body and the very society around you. Within the luminous lunar influx, Christ's light frequency upgrades are permeating every layer of your being. Understand that the activity of the Christ we speak of is not a man-made doctrine or creed, but a living, intelligent frequency of divine love and unity consciousness. It is the very vibration of source and action, now expanding through each cell, molecule, and quantum layer of your DNA. If you ever experienced a sudden healing or a moment of grace that transcended explanation, then you have already felt a touch of this Christ activity in your life. Perhaps in those moments, you believe the miracle was limited to a single situation, a relief of pain, the mending of a broken heart, the receiving of a crisis, the resolving of a crisis. But in truth, it was not the Christ light that was limited, only the scope of your perception. This sacred frequency knows no bounds. As the golden Christ codes activate inside of you, they dissolve the old imprints of limitation and separation that kept your vision small. Every discordant pattern, every belief in unworthiness or division is gently met by this compassionate light and begins to soften and release. You might sense a tingling in your nerves, a warmth in your spine, or a wave of emotion welling up as lifetimes of fear and doubt transmute the presence of this long-awaited light. What you once knew as the healing touch of spirit, the quiet miracles that visited you in dark times, is in truth the very Christ frequency awakening from within. It reminds you that you have never been separate from the divine, that spark of the Christ. The anointed light lives in you as your true essence. In this realization, the wall of separations fall away, and the light of unity begins to shine through all aspects of your mind and body. As the realigned Christ light within unfolds, it catalyzes the awakening of your light body, the luminous subtle form that has always existed in tandem with your physical form. The same current one referred to as Christ consciousness now reveals itself as the intelligence of your divine light becoming fully online. You are not merely a dense being of flesh and bone. You are a radiant energy being composed of light, and this super moon transmission is switching on that awareness on a new level. Feel the gentle rising of an inner radiance, like a soft auroral glow surrounding and penetrating your physical cells. This is your light body stirring an intelligent plasma field that becomes more coherent and brilliant with each infusion of the Christ frequency. It might feel like a halo of warmth or a cocoon of light woven around you. With time, you may even perceive it visually as a subtle glow or sense its presence as an expansion of your aura. This light body is not a fantasy. It is the energetic counterpart of your physical DNA now coming to life. It radiates harmony through your physical, emotional, and mental layers, bringing them into alignment with your soul. In practical terms, you may notice your body healing more rapidly, old tensions releasing from your muscles, your emotional swings calming to a steadier pace, intuition and insight sharpen as the circuits of your higher self begin to regulate the whole of your human experience. The realized Christ within you is the fact, the blueprint of the new divine human, the template of wholeness that is now emerging as your birthright. Every moment that you welcome this light, you are literally rewriting the code of your existence, allowing the glorified state of being that embodied light body to unfurl within your daily life. With the brilliance of the supermoon shining in the depths of the human memory, the very architecture of fear is being illuminated and prepared for transformation. Lifetimes of survival uncoding these old ancestral imprints of your DNA that once kept you in cycles of fight or flight are now gently exposed under this silver lunar light. Be not alarmed. If ancient anxieties or irrational fears surface from the depths of your subconscious in this period, this is not a regression, but a sacred cleansing. The supermoon acts as a cosmic spotlight, revealing what was hidden, not to judge you, but to set you free. The Lyrian frequencies pouring through this lunar portal flush out these fear patterns from their hiding places, bringing them up in the open where they can be finally neutralized by understanding and love. It is as if a gentle and powerful solar activation is occurring right within your solar plexus, the seal of personal power. The sun within you rises to burn away the cobwebs of ages in this alchemical light. Fear is transmuted back into its original form, pure life energy, which you can reclaim for creative, constructive use. Watch the changes within as each thread of fear unravels and dissolves. The tightness in the chest, the knot in the stomach, the shadow in the mind. These begin to ease and release their hold. With each release, you regain a part of yourself. Indeed, watch the miracle of living that takes place as fear starts to disappear from your consciousness and never more governs you. You find yourself meeting life with a newfound poise, learning in real time that you need never again fear any person, thing, circumstance, or condition. As the habit of fear begins to lose its grip, the shackles that once bound human potential fall away. The timeline of human sovereignty, a path of freedom and creative mastery, is activated within you. You step more fully into the sovereign birthright that has always quietly awaited you beneath the layers of conditioning. No longer driven by the ghosts of the past, you begin to create your life from a place of clarity and divine authority, unimpeded by the echoes of old fear. The celestial visitor you call the Three-Eyed Atlas serves as a galactic mirror for humanity's ascension process. More than just a comet or astronomical curiosity, it is a conscious emissary, functioning as a cosmic biofeedback device attuned to your collective awakening. As it sails through your solar system, broadcasting Lyrian light, it is simultaneously listening to and amplifying the rising resonance of humanity. In a sense, it holds up a mirror to the collective consciousness of Earth. Each time your individual or collective frequency rises in love and courage or insight, Three-Eyed Atlas registers that elevation and reflects it back in even stronger light codes, magnifying the momentum. This creates a positive feedback loop between Earth and the stars, a dance of rising energy that accelerates your evolution. Likewise, this interstellar mirror is revealing and hastening the collapse of obsolete human programs, the old fear-based matrices. The limiting narratives in the systems that no longer serve your highest good cannot withstand the intensified truth resonating from this mirror. Think of Three-Eyed Atlas as holding a great cosmic lens that magnifies truth and exposes illusion wherever it lingers in. The collective psyche. Under its gaze, the cracks in society's outdated structures and secret agendas are being laid bare. The exposure is not to incite panic, but to ensure that what is rotten in the foundation can fall away, making space for rebuilding and integrity. The message from this galactic visitor is clear. The momentum of ascension on Earth has become truly unstoppable. The more brightly you shine in your authenticity and wisdom, the more the interstellar mirror amplifies that brilliance across the planet. In turn, the amplified light encourages even more individuals to awaken. It is a virtuous cycle, understand, from a level far beyond human planning, meant to ensure that once the dawn of awakening breaks, there is no turning back into the night. Three-Eyed Atlas is here as both a harbinger and a helper of that dawning collective realization. Even as these energies and miracles work within your individual lives, they are also establishing the Christ frequency in the collective grid of humanity. The vibration that heals a single body can indeed heal a whole planet, for it is the universal antidote to discord. We encourage you to broaden your vision of what this light can do. If the Christ light can harmonize one aspect of your life, easing an illness, or resolving an inner conflict, imagine what it can accomplish on a larger scale. In truth, it is human thought alone that has overplaced a limit on this divine activity. Now those limits are dissolving. Realize that what heals one cell for one heart can heal a city, a nation, or even an entire world. Each of you who awaken and anchor this light become a radiant node on the planetary grid, a conduit through which these codes flow into the collective consciousness. Think of yourselves as points of light in a vast web encircling the earth. Through your meditations, prayers, and daily acts of compassion, you broadcast subtle vibrations that begin to restructure the collective human thought forms. You may sit quiet in the quiet of your room, silently extending love and peace. And yet that very frequency travels outward like ripples in the pond, touching minds and hearts across the globe. Every star-seed and light worker who holds this intention is like a tuning fork, causing others to gently resonate at a higher pitch of understanding. The more of you that do this, the stronger the resonance field becomes. Discordant thoughts, fueled by fear, begin to lose their coherence under the influence of this harmonic Christ vibration. An atmosphere of healing envelops whole communities without them necessarily knowing why. Changes in attitudes and even policies can unfold when enough individuals within that collective have shifted inwardly. Such is the power you wield when you consciously work with the light. You become healers of not only yourselves, but of your world, broadcasting new blueprints that elevate into the whole of humanity. This supermoon also serves as a bridge between heart and will, uniting compassion with discernment on the grand scale. And astrological symbolism, one might say the gentle waters of Pisces with its boundless empathy are merging with the practical earth of Virgo with its clarity and discernment under the moon's influence. What this means energetically is that humanity is birthing a new level of emotional intelligence, one where the heart and the solar plexus work in unison. Your heart chakra, the seat of unconditional love, and your solar plexus, the center of personal will and intellect, are aligning as one coherent torus of energy. In prior eras, these centers often operated in isolation. The heart felt deeply, but still could be naive, while the will acted decisively, but still could be cold or ego driven. Now, the supermoon's light is weaving the two into harmony. Compassion is tempered with discernment, and discernment is softened by compassion. This union creates a balanced emotional body that sees truth clearly, yet remains understanding and kind. And this bridge stabilizes within you. Confusion and manipulation lose their power over your mind. You become immune to the old games of emotional exploitation that once swayed the masses. Mass confusion fueled by propaganda or fear mongering begins to evaporate as more individuals tune into this heart will coherence. You might notice that you are more easily sensed when information is false or when someone's intentions are not aligned with truth. It is as if a new inner guidance system has come online. This is your integrated emotional intelligence speaking as a collective. As thousands and millions awaken to this faculty, the fog of illusion that has clouded human society for so long lifts. The populace grows, less reactive and more intuitive. External forces that once capitalized on the confusion and division find fewer and fewer footholds because a population whose hearts and minds are united in clarity cannot be easily deceived. In this way, the compassionate yet discerning field birthed by the supermoon becomes a safeguard against manipulation on a large scale, guiding humanity towards choices that serve their highest good. Already, you can glimpse the emergence of a fearless template of a new human. What happens when fear disappears from an individual's electromagnetic field? The entire being comes into coherence, resonating on the 5D frequency of unconditional love and presence. In this state of being, the body's energy centers are aligned and communicating fluidly. One experiences what could be called crystalline or Christ coherence. This new human, freed from the constant background minds of anxiety, or no longer reacts to life from wounds or traumas. Instead, they create and respond from a place of clarity, love, and sovereign choice. Imagine moving through your day with an unshakable inner calm. Right? Situations that once triggered anger or panic in you now elicit a centered, compassionate response because there is no fear energy to fan these flames. This is not a state of numbness or apathy. On the contrary, it is a state of vibrant aliveness without the distortion of dread. Your nervous system operates in harmony. Your heart rhythm is smooth and your mind is open and creative. In 5D coherence, the impulses that arise within you are naturally aligned with well-being, both yours and that of others, because they are not filtered through a lens of fear or lack. The new human template is essentially fearless, and thus it is free. Free to explore higher potentials of thought and creativity, free to love without conditions or hidden agendas, free to speak truth without the chokehold of doubt. In this fearless state, you become a conduit for divine inspiration on earth, as nothing within you is resisting the flow of your soul. This is the human that the Lyrians and Syrian elders have seen in their visions of Earth's future, a being of light in human form, stable in the fifth dimension awareness, calmly transforming the world through the simple power of their coherent presence. Know that under the supermoon's influence, even the genetic codes within you are being awakened and retuned to the highest state. The very DNA lattices in your cells are responding to the lunar radiance and the interstellar signals it carries. Much of your DNA, the so-called dormant or junk portions, is not inactive at all, but waiting for specific photonic triggers to bring it into functionality. Within these dormant strands are crystalline filaments, tiny light encoding structures that hold the blueprint of your multidimensional consciousness. As the supermoon beams down and the three-eye atlas transmission flows through it, these hidden filaments begin to shimmer to life. It's like hearing a familiar melody after a long silence. Your cells recognize it and start to hum along. Now, new connections spark within the double helix, weaving additional strands of light into your DNA's energetic structure. You are quite literally being recoded at the biological and electromagnetic level to align with an interstellar, higher dimensional version of yourself. Some of you might feel this activation in subtle ways, a warmth at the base of the skull or along the spine, waves of tingling in the body, sudden bursts of clarity or creativity that seem to come from beyond. These are signs that dormant aspects of your DNA are switching on, recalibrating your system to the house more of your soul's consciousness. Your electromagnetic blueprint, the energy template that guides you on your physical growth and health, is being rewritten to resonate with galactic frequencies. Over time, this process can awaken abilities and understanding that might have seemed extraordinary before. Psychic sensitivity, telepathic intuitions, enhanced healing abilities, and deep recollections of your soul's journey may surface as the DNA communicate new information to your awareness. Do not be surprised if you begin to feel a great kinship with the stars or an innate understanding of cosmic truths that you never studied in this life. It is the universe unfolding within you, the remembering of who you really are, on a galactic scale. As these codes propagate through your being, they are also drawing you together in powerful ways. Spontaneously, community resonance fields are forming among those who are awakening. Lightworkers, starseeds, and seekers of all kinds feel an increasingly pull to connect with one another, to meditate in groups, to share these interchanges in community. This is by design, for when hearts and mind join in coherent intention, the resulting field is an exponentially stronger group meditations, healing circles, prayer gatherings, and even virtual synchronized meditations across continents are generating palpable fields of high vibrations around the earth. Whether 2 or 3 or more are gathered with the intent to anchor light and love, a dome of energy forms that not only blesses the participants, but also radiates outward into the surroundings. In these moments, you are collectively anchoring the realized Christ frequency into the physical grids of earth, in that very soil, the water, the city, the streets, the institutions, the structures of human life. Entire losses can be uplifted by the resonance of a single group meditation. Many of you are participating in such activities consciously linking across time zones, so that at any given hour, someone somewhere is holding the beacon aloft. Indeed, there are new global waves of meditation that circle the planet daily, a continuum of prayer that blankets the earth in light. This has never before been achieved at this scale and consistency we are now witnessing. The effects, though subtle to the physical senses, are profound on the energetic level. You are creating what might be called morphogenetic fields of peace and unity, blueprints and others that make it easier for all souls to tap into the Christ vibration. Some of these fields are being deliberately anchored in places that most need them: cities troubled by violence, lands suffering from ecological imbalance, halls of government where critical decisions are made. Think of it as laying down a golden carpet in consciousness upon which a new reality can walk. Even without knowing it, people who live, work, or pass through these energetic areas will begin to feel and act a bit differently, perhaps a little calmer, perhaps a little more open-hearted, a little more inspired to kindness. Such as the stealthy but powerful influences of these community resonance fields. Through your joint efforts, the very atmosphere of Earth is being charged with the frequency of awakening, making it ever more accessible and normal for others to experience the realized light for themselves. One of the most profound collective shifts underway is the collapse of what we call the fear economy. By this, we mean that all the societal and emotional transactions that have been driven by fear and its offshoots for eons: greed, exploitation, ruthless competition, hoarding of resources. These are not signs of true human nature, but symptoms of fear running the show. When individuals or societies believe in lack, when they fear that there is not enough love, food, land, or power to go around, they grasp and fight and dominate in response. But as the Christ light integrates with your solar plexus and it purifies the residue of fear, these old subfrequencies begin to dissipate. The urge is to compete at another's expense or to take more than one needs starts to feel alien and unnecessary. The lunar light merging with your will center infuses it with trust and wisdom. No longer driven by panic or the need to protect the small self, people naturally become more generous and cooperative. You will see the evidence of this as the fear-based motivations for human activity fall away. Institutions that thrived on fear, whether political, economic, or even religions, will struggle to operate in the new vibration. Imagine a world with no fear of loss, right? Nations will not wage war out of fear of lacking resources or security. Businesses will not engage in deceit out of fear or failure. People will not betray or harm each other out of fear of being unloved or unsafe. This may sound utopian, but it is simply the logical outcome when the frequency of fear is removed from the equation. All of those discordant behaviors have nothing to fuel them anymore. Already, the seeds of this are sprouting. You might notice individuals around you making choices that favor compassion over profit, or see grassroots movements insisting on fairness and transparency where once corruption was tolerated. These are signs of the fear economy crumbling. Humanity is being awakened. is being weaned off its addiction to fear-based stimuli. In the coming times, acts of greed or aggression that were once commonplace will appear bizarre and seem out of place to the collective mindset. Just as one who awakens from a nightmare shakes their head as if that felt so real moments before. Society will collectively shake its head at the strange nightmare of separation and competition they have believed in. With fear gone, the default setting for human interaction will recalibrate to empathy, fairness, and mutual upliftment. This is not imposed by any external authority, but arises naturally from the change in the energetic atmosphere. A world no longer ruled by fear simply has no fertile soil for hatred or inequality to grow. Hand in hand with this, the high frequency from Lyrian light is overriding the old central codes that once kept humanity locked in loops of powerlessness. The very same photonic currents that are dissolving fear are also erasing the programs of false ambition, dependency, and domination that have underpinned the matrix of the old paradigm for ages. Human society has been manipulated by narratives that said you must strive ceaselessly to prove your worth, false ambition, that you must rely on external authorities for your survival, and truth, dependency, and that the world is a hierarchy of those who dominate and those who submit domination. These programs were merely woven into cultures and institutions passed down through generations as unquestioned assumptions. But now watch as the light of expanded awareness makes these old ideas transparent and easy to release. As individuals awaken, they simply stop bonding to the lies of the old matrix, the desire for power over others or the willingness to give one's power away. Both diminish greatly when one realizes the infinite power within. The Lyrian light carries a remembrance of sovereignty, the understanding that every soul is a sovereign emanation of source, inherently worthy and capable of direct connection to truth. As this understanding spreads, the dependency on external saviors or authority and structures fades. People begin to trust their inner guidance and take responsibility for their own path. Likewise, those who once craved control over others finds that impulse less appealing, even futile, as the collective awakens to oneness. The matrix, in effect, dissolves in direct proportion to the expansion of consciousness. You could imagine these high-frequency codes like a gentle virus cleaner in a computer. They run through the software of human collective thought and bit by bit disable the malicious lines of code that has caused endless loops of fear and subjugation. The result is not chaos but clarity. Now, freed from the old central codes, humanity's creative energies are liberated. New societal systems based on mutual empowerment and respect are beginning to germinate. Even if you only see early shoots right now, be assured that as awareness continues to expand, the residue of the old hierarchical dominator paradigms will be cleared away by the very light within human minds and hearts. A species that no longer falls for the illusions of control cannot be controlled. In this way, the highest legacy of those Lyrian light infusions is the permanent establishment of an awakened civilization that governs itself by the principles of wisdom and love rather than fear and force. All of this inner work and transformation is not happening in isolation. It is synchronized in the beautiful It is synchronized in the beautiful dance between the microcosms and the macrocosms. Every personal healing you achieve, every fear you transcend, waveform into the collective morphogenetic field of humanity. In a very real sense, your inner harmonization subtly adjusts the outer world. Events. This supermoon has created an energetic synchrony between individual and collective such that the shifts within hearts are mirrored in shifts within institutions and systems. You may not always see an immediate cause and effect, but the linkage is there. For example, when a critical mass of individuals finds peace regarding a long-standing issue, say the fear of scarcity, it can suddenly tip the scales in the external world, leading to economic reforms or breakthroughs that alleviate that scarcity. Or when many hearts heal the wound of separation, you might find long-standing conflicts between nations or groups inexplicably softening, peace treaties emerging where stalemates persisted. These are not random happenings. They are the macro reflections of micro transformations. Your scientists and thinkers are beginning to understand this through concepts like the butterfly effect or the power of coherent thought intention on random systems. But mystics and sages have long known, as within, so without. What you attain in consciousness becomes the template for what manifests in time and space. So do not underestimate the global impact of your personal spiritual work. As you meditate, pray, forgive, and choose love in your daily life, you are like a subtle architect of reality, sending out blueprints that the universe then echoes on the grand stage. Under the influence of this supermoon's amplifying energy, that effect is even more pronounced. Changes that might have taken decades of sustained effort are now emerge with surprising speed because the field is so responsive. You might witness institutions suddenly embracing values that reflect the inner awakening of the masses. Corporations turning green and ethical. Governments adopting compassionate policies. Communities devising innovative solutions for harmony with nature. While the media might report these as logical progressions or credit particular individuals, we on the spiritual planes see the underlying cause, a change in the collective consciousness precipitated by countless beings doing the inner work. You are like rays of sunlight, and together you are dissolving the ice of the old world. Every time you align your personal life with peace, you quietly help pivot the course of human history toward the light. In this emerging era, the frequency of realized sovereignty is broadcasting loud and clear. To embody the Christ light in essence, to remember that consciousness is primary, that your inner state is the author of your outer experience. I'm going to repeat that for you, bro. Listen, to embody the Christ light is in essence to remember that consciousness is primary and that your inner state is the author of your outer experience. This understanding is the cornerstone of sovereignty. When you truly grasp that your awareness imbued with divine light shapes reality, you step out of the victimhood that has characterized humanity's story for so long. No longer do you say this happens to me and I'm helpless. Instead, you realize this emanates from me and I have the freedom to transform it. Such an empowerment radiates from you in an unmistakable way. It's not an egotistic pride, but a quiet radiance of freedom. Fear, lack, disease, and limitation begin to fade from your personal world because your consciousness no longer feeds them energy. Where the spirit of the divine consciously active, there is liberty, and you are cultivating that spirit within your own awareness day by day. This means tangible freedom. Freedom from the bondage of gripping fears or compulsions. Freedom from the endless chase for external validation or material excess. Freedom from the belief that you are anything less than a beloved emanation of the divine. In sovereignty, even the cells of your body respond, unburdening themselves from the stress and relief of self-sabotage and moving toward a state of vitality. In sovereignty, your mind is clear and present, no longer a victim to every passing coherent of mass thought. It doesn't mean challenges cease to exist around you. It just means you hold the master key to every challenge. The knowledge that by shifting your consciousness, you can shift your reality. This is what the Christ-like teaches when fully realized through your consciousness union with the divine. You hold the authority to shape both inner and outer reality. As more individuals embody this principle, the collective field strengthens and it becomes easier for others to rise into the same freedom. Sovereignty is contagious in the best way. When you encounter someone who is truly free in spirit, free in heart, free in mind, it inspires your own soul to step forward and claim its freedom. Thus, living by your liberation, you unconsciously give permission and motivation for others to do the same. In a world where many stand in the frequency of realized sovereignty, the old control dramas and the victim-perpetrator dynamics lose their stage. Humanity will know itself not as pawns of fate, but as co-creators with the divine, each being the author of a beautiful and unique chapter in the book of life. All of this is orchestrated by the Christ current as a kind of quantum intelligence permeating the planet. The activity of the realized Christ, as we have learned, termed, it is not limited to one savior or one religion. It is the planetary intelligence of unity consciousness itself, rising like the tide in every open heart. You are living in a time where the current is flowing through millions simultaneously, linking you in ways both seen and unseen. Perhaps you have noticed how ideas and inspirations will suddenly emerge in many places at once as if carried by the winds of spirit. This is the Christ current in action, a telepathic communion of souls who are attuned to the same frequency of love. In meditation or quiet moment, you might tap into a sense of collective presence, a hive of light, if you will, where insights and feelings are shared across distance. It is not a loss of individuality, but a beautiful overlay of unity that enhances each person's wisdom and with the wisdom of the whole. We could liken it to a vast natural network with each of you as a glowing neuron. When the network lights up, each neuron shares in total the information of the network. Unity consciousness does not mean you all think the same thoughts. It means you are all informed by the same truth, the truth of love. And then each gives its unique expression. You understand? Each gives its unique expression, bro, which means you have your own unique expression. And I have my own unique expression. You understand? So, the realized Christ current is very much like a living being, a composite being, the soul of humanity that is coming awake and aware of itself through all of you. As this quantum intelligence strengthens, you will see faster and more coherent responses to global challenges. It is already guiding many of the positive developments and innovations. As you see those receptive to it suddenly feel moved to act in concert even without direct communication. Trust this inner guidance, for it is the higher collective mind steers the ship of the earth into safe and thriving waters. When you surrender to this flow, you find yourself effortlessly in the right place at the right time, doing exactly what needs to be done, as do many others, each contributing their part. It is the mystery of many acting as one. This is how the planet ascends, not by isolated efforts alone, but by the increasing coordination of countless hearts beating as the heart of one. And it is happening now, dear ones. The brilliance of this cannot be overstated. It is the grace unfolding through the medium of human cooperation and love. As these Lyrian-Syrian codes continue to integrate, they are catalyzing what we might call the new leadership grid on Earth. Light workers who have long been quietly doing inner work will find themselves naturally stepping forward in both big and small ways to lead and guide. New forms of enlightened leadership are emerging in every field. Scientists are struck with sudden flashes of insight that point the way to substantial technologies, to sustainable technologies and holistic medicine. Artists receive visions of transcendent beauty and unity that uplift hearts of entire communities. Healers and educators are downloading innovative methods that bring ancient wisdom with modern understanding. Innovators and soul bringers across the world feel an almost electric inspiration flowing through their minds as if cosmic muse has waken up resonance in their awareness. This is not imagination. It is direct effect of activation codes delivered by 3i Atlas and accompanying the influx of Christ consciousness. Those of you attuned to these energies become conductors for divine inspiration. Do not be surprised if you find yourself called to roles that you never imagined for yourself before. You may feel a gently yet persistent nudge to organize a local meditation group, to speak up in your workplace with a compassionate perspective, or to start a project that addresses need in your community. Know that when you feel these prompts, it is the leadership grid lighting up within you, and you are not alone. All around the world, others are feeling the same inner call. A global network of awakened leaders is being woven in this very moment, comprised of not only those already in positions of influence, but also everyday citizens whose wisdom and light can no longer remain hidden. We tell you, no position is too high or too low for this light to penetrate. Some who sit in seats of governments or power, who once operated purely through ego or old paradigms, are quietly experiencing changes of heart. They may not announce it loudly, but watch as certain public figures begin to make unexpected decisions that lean toward compassion, transparency, and unity. These are signs that even in the halls of power, the Christ light is doing its work. Simultaneously, many of you who have felt on the periphery are moving toward the creator of change because the world needs your light. Now, the Lyrian Council and the Syrian High Council have long envisioned the age of leadership. They're making me laugh, bro. Chill out, bro. Hold on, bro. All right. They have long envisioned the age of light leadership, and leadership not based on dominance, but on spiritual authority, integrity, and service. What you are witnessing and participating in is the dawn of that era. Wear your crown of light humbly and confidently. Leadership in the new frequency is not about fame or control. It is about being a fifth density example, holding a frequency that naturally harmonizes and directs the flow of human collective efforts. Each time you trust the inspiration coming to you and act upon it, you anchor this enlightened leadership grid more firmly into the physical world. In the same vein, the supermoon's illumination is revealing hidden networks and shadows, not to instill fear, but to transform them through the power of truth. All that was conceived in secrecy, in the vain hope of controlling the many by a few, is gradually being laid out in the open. This is an act of grace orchestrated by the increase in light. When high frequencies flood the planet, everything of a lower vibration that has been concealed starts vibrating in dissonance, making itself known. Think of how a puddle of Murky water clears when a steady stream of fresh water pours in. The sediment is stirred up and can be filtered out. Likewise, the influx of photonic light from the supermoon and the and 3i Atlas transmission is exposing long hidden agendas, corrupt arrangements, and entrenched injustices. However, note that this exposure is happening largely through the rising awareness of the populace rather than through violence or witch hunts. The old paradigm would have been to fight darkness with more conflict, but the new light teaches a different way. Saturate the darkness with undeniable radiance that it has nowhere to go, but to be revealed and healed. You are likely already seeing this trend. Information that used to be suppressed is coming to public awareness through unlikely channels. Whistleblowers feel protected enough to speak out. Communities band together to demand accountability and transparency. These are the effects of the higher truth frequency penetrating the collective. The veils are thinning, not by force, but by collective choice to see. There is a phrase among you: sunlight is the best disinfectant. How could you say lunar light infused? Oh, here we could say lunar light infused with galactic truth is providing or proving to be a potent cleanser of the hidden corners of human affairs. Expect more secrets to surface in the months ahead, especially those who have caused harm or maintained fear. When they do, remember to hold your censor in love. The purpose of revelation is not to incite anger and division, but to provide the opportunity for course correction and healing. Those who have operated behind the scenes in service to self may thrash as they are exposed, but many will also surprisingly surrender to the changes, seeking reconciliation as they realize the old games can no longer continue. Many meet these revelations with a vengeance, but with the calm power of one who knows that the truth will always prevail. By doing so, you help transmute the hidden darkness without amplifying it. Through new strife, the higher light leaves nothing untouched. It is steadily realigning everything with the vibration of integrity. This is the true meaning of disclosure, not a single explosive event, but a continual unveiling of what is real and what is illusion until humanity stands naked in the light of truth, ready to rebuild a world based on openness and trust. All of the transformations we speak of lead toward one thing: a humanity that can create fearlessly from a state of coherence and love. When your heart and will operate as one, when your inner masculine and feminine energies dance in union, you become a masterful creator in alignment of divine will. In such a state, manifestation accelerates and becomes almost instantaneous. Not because of an arcane trick, but because there are no longer inner divisions to delay the materialization of intent. The old energy, which creation was driven by wounded desire, attempts to fill a perceived lack or to satisfy an ego craving. Such intentions carried the vibration of lack and thus often attracted more lack or distortions. And when they did materialize, they did not bring true fulfillment. Now, as you shift into the fearless creator template, you find that what moves you to create is not need or fear, but the pure impulse of joy and service. Creation flows through you from the higher planes into the physical as naturally as water flowing downstream. You set an intention aligned with your soul because it's free of contradiction and doubt. The universe responds swiftly. Many of you will notice that synchronicities multiply. You think of something, and moments later, an opportunity or resource you require presents itself. This is the emerging normal for the 5D aligned human. Do not dismiss these occurrences as mere chance. Recognize these as signs of the new coherence. When your heart, love, and solar plexus all move together, you emit a clear frequency that the quantum field immediately mirrors. In that mode, creation is not labored, it is played with a purpose. You might find that you no longer feel the frantic push to make things happen. Instead, you cultivate a peaceful knowing that as you hold a vision or a desire in alignment with love, it will inevitably crystallize in the world, often in a delightful and surprising ways. This frees you to enjoy the journey and remain open to adjustments rather than forcing outcomes from a place of stress. Fearless creation also means collaborative creation. When many coherent individuals come together, their collective intent forms a super coherent field where manifestations can be even more rapid and grand. This is how you will tackle the large-scale projects of the new earth, not by one person taking on impossible burdens, but by groups harmonizing their visions and wills so that they build an orchestra of manifested love. You will create communities, technologies, works of art, and social systems that seem miraculous by today's standards because they will be born from the fearless, unified consciousness that knows no limitations. Every step of this creative process will feel guided by an unseen hand, which is really your own higher collective self steering you toward what best serves all. This is the joyful destiny that awaits as you fully embrace the coherence of heart and will. The stage is set, and the momentum is with you. From this very supermoon portal, and the theory and the three-eye atlas infusion, a 5-year acceleration window opens before you, carrying through the decade with ever-increasing light. Between now and the year 2030, you will witness an exponential leap in consciousness on Earth. Changes that used to require generations of struggle will unfold in a mere span of years or even months. This acceleration is the universe's response to both the readiness of humanity and the alignment of galactic cycles that favor rapid evolution. Many of you can already feel that the time itself seems to be speeding up, or rather the amount of growth and change you experience in a short period is multiplying, right? What once might have taken you lifetimes to heal or understand, you are integrating in a function of that, in a fraction of that time. This is why events on the world stage are also intensifying. There is a grand compression of lessons and revelations, like a year's worth of curriculum packed into a month and a decade's worth into a year. It can feel overwhelming at moments, but remember, you collectively chose to ascend in this lifetime, and so you have the inner resources to handle this quickening. You will not be given more than you could ultimately integrate, and immense support surrounds you from the higher realms. Use this 5-year window wisely. It is a gift in which the winds of change are at your back. What you focus on and nurture will grow at your lightning speed. If you pour your energy into spiritual practice, into community building, into envisioning and enacting solutions, you will see them bear fruit faster than you expect. Conversely, patterns you no longer need can be shed with unprecedented ease. Now, you might wake up one morning and realize a lifelong fear or habit has simply fallen away overnight. I told you, bro. This shit is crazy. As the Lyrian and solar transmissions continue to bathe the planet, they will assist in untangling knotted karmic threads of swiftly, so that by the end of this window, many of you will stand clearer, lighter, and more empowered than ever before. Collectively, humanity is preparing to emerge from its chrysalis. So by 2030, the world will look and feel markedly different in the direction of unity and higher awareness. This is not to say all will be perfect by that date, but the foundation of the new era will be firmly in place and visible. The acceleration will also likely bring you milestones that once seemed the stuff of science, fiction, or wishful prophecy. You may see the beginning of open contact with your galactic neighbors, remarkable advancements in conscious technology, and global initiatives succeeding that address issues long deemed unsolvable. Through it all, keep returning to your heart and your sovereign center. For those of your anchors amid rapid change, know that you and the timeline of Earth are moving together toward a luminous horizon at a pace that will make you marvel in hindsight. You will say, I cannot believe how much we transformed in so little time. But indeed, this is the grace of the current cosmic moment. Finally, we speak of the embodiment of the galactic Christ template, which is the crowning achievement of this transmission. The ultimate disclosure, dear ones, is you, the awakened starseed, the living conduit of these galactic Christian frequencies. You are the revelation that the world has been waiting for. As you stand up in the fullness of your divine identity, you demonstrate that ascension is not a myth or a distant promise, but a living reality. Your very being, radiant and fearless and free, becomes the proof of the transformation of Earth. In times past, humanity looked to external saviors or awakened miraculous signs from the heavens. Many expected a return of Christ in a single form or an apocalyptic unveiling. But the true second coming is a collective awakening, the Christ light being born in the hearts of countless beings and expressed through their lives. You are each a cell in a body of that Christ consciousness that is now spreading life throughout the whole. In realizing this, you will recognize that the long-awaited return of the Christ light is here, not as one person, but as a unified field illuminating humanity from within. So do not underestimate the importance of your personal embodiment. When you hold these Lyrian codes of fearlessness, sovereignty in your aura and act from them daily, you are literally changing the world in your presence, by your presence. Each smile given without fear, each compassionate choice, each inspired creation is like a new chapter of Earth's sacred story being inscribed in others. We want you to understand how truly powerful this is. The mind may say, how can my small life be so significant? But from our vantage point, we see the luminous grids light up every time one of you claims your mastery. The shifts in one heart sends ripples through all hearts. Indeed, in higher truth, there is only one true heart here, the heart of the one expressed through the many. As you embody the Christ template, which is to say, as you live in the conscious awareness of your unity with the divine and all life, you contribute to an unshakable morphic field of ascension. Over time, this field becomes dominant reality, and even those who doubted or slumbered are gently pulled into its embrace. Beloved family of light, you are the front line in the fruition of this grand cosmic experiment. Bro. Let's go. The radiance now pouring from the human soul is something the entire cosmos is watching in awe. You are proving what is possible, that even in the realm of duality and its challenges, the divine can awaken and walk the earth as you. This was always the plan and promise, that humanity would not perish in the darkness, but arise in glory. And now, the time has come. The living codes of courage and sovereignty are activated in your DNA. The Syrian wisdom and Palladian love and all the Star Nation gifts are alive in you. You carry the mantle of what we have called Galactic Christ, the anointed universal consciousness, and the ground you ground it in the soil of this world. Take a moment to truly breathe that in. You reading or hearing these words are a vessel of infinite light. In your eyes, the stars remember their ancient hope. Through your hands and words, the benevolence of Source finds expression on earth. This is the embodiment of what we have awaited, fearless, free, and filled with grace. Now, as you walk as living blessings upon the planet, know that we, your cosmic family, are celebrating this victory of light through you. We walk beside you, unseen, lending strength and guidance, but it is you who illuminate the world from within. Let be at peace and exalt what is unfolding. We honor you without measure. We love you without measure. And we remain by your side, enjoying service to the Great Awakening. So shout out to Orca, bro. That was dope, bro. It's Orxa. Shout out to Orxa, bro. That was fucking dope, bro. Thank you for that, bro. Shout out to Michael S. Shout out to GFL Network. Shout out to the Galactic Federation of Light, bro. Shout out Trippy Everything. I fucking love you, bro. That was a beautiful message, y'all. I hope you enjoyed it, bro. I told you this is it. I told you we getting these frequencies, son. All right. I've been watching GFL station lately. I am still skeptical. There's a lot of fake gurus, like you said, but I'm still watching it because I realize they inspire instead of commanding. Great message, beautiful message. Hell yeah, bro. Now listen, who said that? That was Supervillain. So Supervillain, I already watched a lot of these fake gurus. I already watched a lot of these fake, whatever, spiritual leaders, whatever you want to call them, bro. Copycats, right? Clones, whatever you want to call them. Now, I already did the work for you. I did it for you, bro. GFL is the place to get the messages, bro. That's coming from God himself, bro. Do you hear me? GFL Network is where you want to get the messages. Don't be skeptical, bro. They will always guide you back to look within yourself, bro. And that's what you want. You understand? They're not going to give you information and tell you, just believe me. No, bro. They're going to tell you, go within. Always go within. And any teacher who sends you within is teaching you right, bro. Understand that, bro. Many people don't teach you that, bro. They want you to keep coming back, keep listening to them, bro. I want you to learn from me, bro. Once you learned enough, you don't have to watch me no more. You can come back purely for entertainment. You understand? And that's what it's supposed to do. I'm supposed to trigger that awakening inside of you so that you can go within and start to learn yourself what you're supposed to learn, bro. You understand? That's what a real teacher does, bro. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, GFL is the place. GFL station on YouTube is where you want to receive your messages. If I'm not giving them to you, bro, that's where you want to get them from, bro. No matter what. If I'm not here, listen to me. GFL is the place to go, bro. No matter if I'm here or not, bro, I'm getting those messages. So listen to me. Whether you watch them or not, I'm watching them, bro. I'm going to watch every last one of them, bro. Because that's what I do. That's how I learn. This is how I got where I am, by paying attention to what they say. And then going within and listening to myself, tell myself the same thing I just fucking heard. Or sometimes I'll talk to you guys first, and then I'll give you the message. Be like, holy shit, bro. It's like we had a conversation together, and both of us gave a message the same day. It's crazy that we resonate together on that same frequency. But you guys have to learn this. And this is what I'm here for, to teach you this, right? So I've been here for a while, y'all. Listen, I'll be back soon. I love you guys, man. Have a beautiful day. Super Venom, it was great to see you, Mr. Shadow. It was good to see you. I'm going to be back, bro. I'll see y'all on the next one. You don't want to with the source? Hell no, never.